You know how DC has a bunch of animated movies, a lot of them being dang near close to remakes to what happened in the comic books. Those are some of my favorites when they actually try to mimic the comics step for step to bring it into animated form. This is kind of what they did with Superman and Batman Public Enemies. They kind of made it almost dang near close to how the comic was and the events of it. Even the art looked like the comic book. There was another movie that went a similar route like this. It was All-Star Superman. Let's analyze how strong All-Star Superman is, right? I mean, there's no need to do an introduction for Superman. You guys already know how he gets powered up by the yellow sun. The sun actually supercharges him. In this story in particular, he was being supercharged up and his cells were being super powered up to the point where it would actually end up killing him. His trip to the sun actually tripled his strength, tripled his curiosity, his imagination, and creativity. He's a being that's so fast that while Lois is showering, they imply that he flew at that second to go get some flowers from light years away, apparently, implying that, yes, he is indeed massively faster than the speed of light. Like, you see how it looks in comics, and you see how they animated it. Like, it's pretty close. Like, you can see what they was trying to do. Under the yellow sun, you know, he can do the standard stuff like fly. He's so powered up more than average that he's actually immune to green kryptonite, stuff that would usually be lethal to him. Talking about it tickles. See, here's the thing. This Superman, you know, Supermans are always durable, and you know he's durable too because he flew in the sun, which was stated to be like the equivalent of 100 billion hydrogen bombs exploded in your face per second. This is a Superman in this video you're going to see is so much stronger than your normal Superman that when normal foes try to fight him, they can't really do much to him like they usually could. Like if we're talking about Bizarro or a version of Doomsday that's Jimmy, it don't really seem to do too much damage. So it lets you know he's on another level. But you're going to see the longer this video goes. I mean, when I say speed, everybody already knows this. Superman has raw flight speed from point A to point B speed, but he has reflexes to match it. By saving somebody while getting dressed, all of this happened real quick. Being powered up more than ever via the sun and being enhanced, he gets new powers that he usually wouldn't have, like making his force field, for example, versatile abilities. Do you know the whole reasoning on why he's durable? His bioelectric aura, he can extend that aura via being supercharged. Like this is a new ability because of his superchargement from the sun. He can extend his invulnerability field to protect others. Like, we know Superman technically has energy projection via heat vision and stuff, but this is like a new form of energy projection he seems to be able to blast out. He even said it. Let me try one of my new powers. Yes, he has freeze breath in this universe. Along with freeze breath, he has the famous heat vision. He has super hearing, impossible super hearing to the point where somebody can even be on the moon and they need help, but he can somehow hear it. One can say he can use multiple different abilities at the same time, like his super eyesight, microscopic vision, and one could say X-ray vision to look at his own DNA or cellular structure. It was so crazy that his cells was converting into pure energy. Superman is one of those characters that he doesn't need tech, but you'll be surprised how smart he is and how good his technology is. Like a literal gravity gun, for example. Of course, this universe, he has the Fortress of Solitude. He has robots that follow his every command. Like, he has a lot of different type of tech in this Fortress of Solitude. This right here pretty much shows how he's had to capture some of the most deadliest weapons in the galaxy. It's basically an armory. It's kryptonite laser. He has like a literal time capsule because one day some future man or woman will open that door with that key. When they do, I want them to know how it felt to live at the dawn of the age of the superheroes. Like, is this Honey We Shrunk the Kids or something? He has his own shrink ray. One could say he has equipment or gear that can, one could say, battlefield remove you or just straight up send you to the Phantom Zone. He has crazy gear like the Cosmic Anvil to where it can help make miniature suns to feed, you know. Splice of life type stuff like a super sewing machine. Like, he has everything we really need up in here, honestly. Along with weapons, he technically has his own zoo. He takes care of these creatures in a special way. Like, he was able to let Lois Lane become like him for a day, giving her superpowers, Kryptonian abilities. Yeah, he's ridiculously smart. He made instructions to combine human and Kryptonian strands. Oh yeah, Superman's smart when it comes to prep time. Yeah, he will literally make his own suit via prep time that will protect him against red sunlight. So yeah, he's aware of his own weaknesses and he will make preparations against such weaknesses. He can basically write stuff in a diary without having to lift a finger because it can just convert what he's thinking, just like this. Just casually lifting up Lois and her car. One of the main attributes of Superman is his incredible godlike strength, so you know he can lift up vehicles like buses. I mean, ripping a tree out the roots or just lifting it up in general is one thing, but to have the strength to sling it all the way to orbit or outer space is another thing. Playing fetch with Krypto, the Superdog, of course. He can handle the pressure of intense gravity. You wouldn't officially be a Superman if you don't at least stop a plane or a train once or twice in your life. Of course, he has the strength to do this. And this is where we get to kind of some of the fun stuff. He can lift something that weighs 500,000 tons because this key to his place weighs 500,000 tons. It's made of super dense dwarf star material and weighs 500,000 tons. He's the only person on Earth that can lift it. That's why he keeps his key right in front of everything. I want you guys to pay attention to this. He's holding this type of weight with one hand, this material, and he's doing this by grabbing it with a finger. So like, what do you think his arms can do? Like way above that, you know? I mean, with the little effort he's even holding, it's like saying he can definitely hold a cruise ship with one hand above his head, or even stack another cruise ship on top of that. He would still be able to hold the weight of it. Heck, why not add another cruise ship on top of that? Like, this is the type of weight we're talking about, because he can lift over 500,000 tons with his incredible strength. Impressive, right? And he did that with one hand, one finger. All that was with ease, and it just gets worse. You guys know of the famous feat of his strength actually getting measured, being tested thanks to all this solar exposure. His strength is way beyond normal levels here. Even stated there's no known upper limit. He can lift equivalent to what it feels like 200 quintillion tons. Keep in mind, he's doing this with one arm here. The other arm is behind his back. He probably could do 400 quintillion, and that still isn't his limit. Which would basically mean you can literally put planetoids like the moon on his back, and he would be able to support that weight. Literally implying he can literally hold the weight of multiple continents on his back, literally. This right here proves he can lift planetoids or even moons with no known upper limit still. He got his strength tested against beings that are pretty strong like Samson and Atlas of this universe. Like, this is funny. They literally had an arm wrestle contest with beings on this level, two powerhouses at the same time. And he makes a joke out of both these powerhouses, even does this to his arm. For you guys wondering, like, this is an alternate reality version of Atlas, but you guys remember the history of Atlas in the Greek lore and how they incorporate Greek lore into DC. I'm not saying this is how this universe works, but there's a high likelihood that this Atlas could be similar to the myth feats of Atlas being able to hold the weight of the heavens on his shoulders, literally. But, you know, this is the main continuity, not All-Star Superman continuity. But, like, if they're implying this is the same Atlas and has similar feats to this would change the game and Superman beat him with ease. Somebody that can literally lift the heavens. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to say this is absolute, but like Atlas has a history when it comes to DC Comics of being able to lift the heavens. Even old comics imply this too. This seems to be something that's a part of his lore that won't be retconned no matter which reboot happens too. So, but you just take this as you will. Superman beat our version of Atlas. Maybe not this version of Atlas that can lift the weight of the heavens or nothing. Maybe he could. Who knows? We ain't got no proof of it in this universe. But Superman beat him in the arm wrestling contest. That's something to think about. Beating a being like Atlas in an arm wrestle that can literally lift an infinite cosmos above their head, but that's none of my business. He may or may not be this strong in this universe. They never really show Atlas do this in this continuity, though. Imagine the entire weight of the cosmos falling down on Superman and Superman having the strength to support all that. But yeah, I don't want to jump to this conclusion of lifting up the entire universe, but have you ever wondered how strong Superman would be since we know he has the strength to at least lift planetoids or moons confirmed? You ever wondered how hard his punch would be? We got some writer intent on how hard he can hit. They literally talk about an evil Superman. That would be scary. He's a being that could crack the earth in half. This seems very likely considering we know he can lift up planetoids with ease. So this kind of does make sense with the lore of him being able to crack the earth in half or split it. Planet Buster type stuff. Via statements like this would also mean if he could crack the earth in half, then smaller planetoids, like the moon, he would be able to pretty much dang near close vaporize. If he can split something this big, a smaller planetoid like the moon, he would be able to delete with no real issues, honestly, with his punching power. It's almost like saying moon splitting would almost be child's play if we really take that quote about him being able to crack the earth in half seriously. I mean, we got other Kryptonians that are not necessarily Superman, but this shows that Superman's body can withstand just like what he can dish out. Like these Kryptonians threw Superman so hard and it cracked a big chunk of the moon. So this planetoid stuff kind of does make sense when you look at the devastating power these other Kryptonians can produce. So he can take similar to what he can dish these Kryptonians that have similar powers to him. He can take attacks from. I mean, these beings literally have the same powers as Superman. I would look at it like this. If they can throw Superman hard enough to crack the moon, I see no reason why Superman couldn't just crack the moon like this if he wanted to. Why wouldn't he be able to crack a big chunk of the moon like this, multiple continent splitting type of raw force? Like, I look at it like this. If they can do stuff like this or crazy damage to the moon like this, Superman can do this as well with his punches or just strikes in general. Why wouldn't he be able to do it, right? Not to mention there was this occasion, bizarre world, a world that's square. Don't ask, a world that's not round. Yeah, the multiverse is weird and the different dimensions are weird in this universe. DC, right? This is a combination of his speed, striking, punching power, and everything put together. He strikes planets so hard to where apparently the entire planet moved. There's implications of that here. It's stated here, he heard it. I guess it's crawling its way back into the underverse. Like, what? Just how he can lift planetoids or moon type structures or earth size structures. His punches, honestly, square or not, if he can punch an entire planet and it moves, that's incredible punching power. And there's implication that this Superman did this with his incredible punching power and strength. We've seen him fly and blitz through things with his crazy speed. Beings that are dang near close to about to hit the ground, he's fast enough to catch before they hit the ground. And we're not going to ignore he's just casually flying from the Earth all the way to the sun. Like, it's no big deal, right? That's ridiculous speed. And just imagine flying light years in the span of somebody taking a shower, aka 15, 20 minutes. There's no exact math, no exact time limit on how long this bath was, but for you to be able to fly there and back, apparently, it kind of implies ridiculous flight speed, proving that his raw flight speed is way faster than speeds of light. But yeah, guys, he doesn't have too many showings, but you got to respect his might. He's still pretty strong, right? Respect All-Star Superman. But before I get going, I got to say a quick thanks to the donators. It helps out a lot. Respect All-Star Superman. His strength is crazy. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.